Hi, I'm Jagrati and you're watching Ignite Inspiration, inspiring the best in you. Have you ever had a dream that you thought that you could never achieve? I would like to welcome Michelle Errichiello, a Paralympian who represented Australia in the 2012 London Paralympic Games. Michelle has a truly inspiring story that I'm sure will touch your heart. Michelle will share how her belief in herself and setting goals helped her through her darkest days.
Okay. 8 years ago on a Saturday morning, I went off to work not realizing that that day was going to change my life forever. I was at work taking out the rubbish when an out of control car jumped the curb, slammed into me and instantly amputated my right leg. I didn't know at the time that my leg had actually been amputated. I learnt that later when I got to hospital. And that's when utter devastation hit me. Not because I had lost my leg, but because I thought that my fiance Mark was no longer going to want to marry me. So the first chance I got to ask him, do you still want to marry me? I did. And he looked at me as if I was completely crazy and said, of course I do. So it was from that moment that I went from this person who was just happy, plodding along in life, got up, went to work, did whatever, to one that had to set goals because I was going to get married in less than 10 months' time, and I was determined to walk down the aisle. But not only walk down the aisle, but to dance my wedding waltz. And then I quickly set myself another goal, which was to learn to run again. So I'm in hospital and Mark is feeding me my food because I've got no strength. And one day he says to me, Shell, you know what I'm doing, it's not helping you. You've got to start eating on your own. So that night when Mark went home, I thought to myself, okay, so when breakfast arrives tomorrow morning, I'm going to sit up and I'm going to eat this porridge all by myself. So the next morning, sitting up, eating my porridge, and Mark walks in and this tremendous smile just beams across his face. And it was at that point that I realized, hang on, I just set a goal and I actually achieved it, and look at how happy that made someone. And that just gave me this amazing thrill. So I'm thinking, okay, what's my next goal? I've got to get out of hospital and I've got all these tubes in my arms and I'm connected up to morphine. So I decided from then on, I'm not going to hit the morphine button anymore. So 24 hours later, the nurse checks my reading, didn't press the morphine button, so out comes the tubes. So I'm still in bed and I need to get crutches. So I call for the physio to take me through a lesson so I can get my crutches, and he says to me, no, that's not going to happen, you're moving too fast, just hold on. And I said to him, no, what you don't understand is that I'm ready for crutches, and when I get my crutches, then I'll slow down and go at your pace. So he gives me my crutches after a short lesson on crutches, and then it's now time for me to move on and get out of hospital. The doctors had actually explained to my family that I was going to be in hospital for 6 months. I actually left hospital a week and a half after my accident. So into rehab I went. Again, I was told 3 to 6 months that I would be there, and I actually left rehab 1 week after entering. So I'm at home, it's less than now 8 months on to my wedding day, and I've got to get myself a prosthetic leg. So we start looking for prosthetists, and I keep getting told that no, you're not going to be walking down the aisle. Your dad's actually going to be wheeling you down in a wheelchair. And there was no way that that was going to happen. I knew that I was going to walk down that aisle. So we searched for many prosthetists until we found the one that turned around and said, absolutely, you can walk down the aisle and you will be dancing your wedding waltz. So true to his word, come December, I achieved my first goal, my first major goal, which was to walk down the aisle, and then I danced my wedding waltz. So when I got back from our honeymoon, I went to see my prosthetist and I said, look, now I'm ready to run. And I kept getting told that I was never ever going to run, but I was determined to learn to run again. So he makes me this leg and I put it on, and I didn't even know how to walk in the thing, let alone run in it. So I contacted the Australian Paralympic Committee and I told them I've got this running leg, but I don't know what I'm doing with it. So they asked me to meet up with them for a bit of a training session. So met up with them, and true to their word, I got up and I got running. Later that day, I got an email from them that said, if you enjoy running, see how you go for a few months, there's a chance that you can enter into competitions, and then that'll lead you onto the London Paralympic Games. And when I saw those 3 words, London Paralympic Games, I thought, oh my God, that's my next goal, that's where I'm going. And I had no idea how I was going to get there because I was the type of person that hated sport. I'd never competed in anything in my life. Throughout my whole school years, I forged notes to get me out of PE. So I had no idea how I was going to get to the London Paralympic Games, but I was going to get there. So through a lot of hard work, training, got myself a coach, eating right, I ended up breaking 2 world records, and I went on to the London Paralympic Games and I came 5th in the final representing Australia. So what all this has actually taught me is to believe in yourself. So I was told that I wasn't going to walk down the aisle, I was never ever going to run, but I knew that I could do that. And if there's one thing that I can share with all of you is have belief in yourself. I had an amazing support network of family and friends and medical staff who I had to source, and they got me and they helped me achieve my goal.
Thank you so much for that, Michelle. That was a truly beautiful and inspiring story, and I hope that all of you are as inspired as I am. This time, let's set ourselves small goals that will lead us to our big dream, and don't take no for an answer from anyone. Believe in yourself and get a support network around you of people that can help you make those goals happen. I would love to hear what your goals are and how you're kicking them. So please share those goals with us on ignitebollywood.com.au/blog. Ignite Inspiration is an extension of the Ignite Bollywood Dance Company blog, and we like to ask our guests their signature dance step. Now I'd like to invite Mark, who's a partner of Michelle, and both of them are going to show us their cool dance step that they do in their living room. Let's check it out.
So our dance move is dedicated to our little daughter who is 20 months old, who has just learnt to dance.
Okay, let's try it, shall we? Let's go.